All right, ready to jump in. We're tackling offshore renewable energy engineering today.
Ooh, good one to dive into.
You guys sent in a ton from RoleCatcher articles, guides, even interview tips, so lots to unpack.
Definitely piqued some curiosity out there.
Yeah, for sure.
What gets me is how people hear offshore energy and think, boom, windmills, end of story.
Right, like that's the whole picture.
But it's so much more, what's going on under the surface is where it gets interesting.
So, say you are an offshore renewable energy engineer. What are you actually doing day to day?
Forget that picture of just like bolting turbines to the seafloor.
It's got to be more than that.
These engineers are the brains of the whole operation, designing, installing, then running these complex systems.
Not just wind, right? We're talking all sorts of offshore energy.
Exactly. You got your wind farms, sure, but also tidal power stations, wave energy converters. It's a whole underwater world of clean energy we're talking about.
So it's not as easy as wind blows here, let's stick a turbine in.
Nope. Tons of research goes into finding the best spots for these systems. Water depth, the seafloor, even where marine life hangs out. Got to max out that energy production, but do it responsibly.
Which brings up a good point. What about the environmental side of all this? These are big projects in, well, a pretty sensitive environment.
Huge. And these engineers, they wear a bunch of hats.
So I bet.
They're engineering and design masters, but they're also like sustainability champions.
Interesting.
Always thinking about how these farms and the environment are interacting. Got to make sure they're as eco-friendly as they are efficient.
So we're talking designing these huge systems, working out in the ocean. This isn't like your typical desk job, right?
Yeah,
Got to be more exciting than that.
it's dynamic, that's for sure. One day you're in the office, elbows deep in 3D models, running simulations.
Oh, wow, the future.
Then it's off to some research vessel. Could be rough seas. You're overseeing, an underwater turbine installation.
You're kidding.
And don't forget those lab coats, testing materials, tweaking a wave energy converter. Never a dull moment.
That's what they put in the brochures, though, right? The exciting stuff.
Right, of course.
But what about the behind-the-scenes stuff they leave out, the real pros and cons of this career?
Okay, so the good stuff first. This field is, exploding. Huge growth.
That's what we like to hear.
The projections show, by 2030, renewable energy jobs, almost 10% increase. That's nearly double what most other jobs are looking at.
Job security, nice.
Plus, you're right there on the cutting edge of, making things cleaner, greener.
It's the future.
And hey, might even get to travel internationally. 1 minute, it's Scotland, wave energy farms.
I've always wanted to go there.
Next, who knows, Asia Pacific, some wind project, it's global.
Sounds pretty good so far, but I'm guessing it's not always easy street, right? How about those "this is why I can't have nice things" moments?
Yeah, it's not always sunshine and rainbows.
Yes, catch.
Demanding, absolutely. Long hours, tight deadlines, and you're responsible for, these huge structures. Got to make sure they're safe, they're doing their job.
High stakes.
Then there's the ocean itself.
Right. Can't control the weather.
Imagine, you're out there, 30-foot waves, and you're trying to, secure a turbine platform.
Yes.
It's intense.
Makes you appreciate those engineers even more.
It takes a lot.
So what are some of the things people might not realize make this a tough gig? Besides the whole battling the elements thing.
Think about it. You're designing something that has to deal with, everything the ocean can throw at it.
Yeah.
Crazy winds, the salt water eating away at
It's
it,
erosion, yeah, that's a big one.
and the seabed always shifting.
Yeah.
Then you factor in, marine life, shipping lanes, even how the coastline might erode.
Yeah.
It's a lot to juggle.
So for someone listening thinking this is so me,
Yeah.
how do they even get started in this field?
Well, you got to have that engineering base, that's for sure.
Makes sense.
We're talking bachelor's degrees, things like mechanical, electrical, even marine engineering. Those are your stepping stones.
Okay, so you've hit the books, but what about the stuff they don't teach you in class? What really makes someone stand out in offshore renewable energy?
You wouldn't believe how important those, what do they call them, soft skills are.
Oh yeah, everyone's looking for those.
Of course, you need the brains, the problem-solving chops, but communication, teamwork, that's huge in this field. You're not just by yourself in a lab. It's all about collaboration.
Right, lots of cooks in the kitchen.
Exactly. You've got designers, technicians, project managers, even government folks, local communities. Everyone's got to be on the same page.
So you got to get everyone to understand these complex projects.
And work together. Yeah, that's what makes or breaks things.
So let's say you've landed that first job. Congrats. What's the path look like from there? Is it straight up the ladder or are there side quests?
Think of it more like choose your own adventure. You know,
I like the sound of that.
you might start as a junior engineer doing design work, research, maybe get your feet wet, literally out on a project.
Get that hands-on experience.
Then as you get more experience, more confidence, you might lead some smaller projects. Eventually, boom, senior engineer, you're overseeing entire farms.
So there's room to, like, specialize, find your thing.
Oh, totally. Maybe you find you're a wind energy guru, or title's your jam, whatever gets you going.
Or maybe you realize you're a project management whiz, the one calling the shots.
Could be. There are all sorts of paths you can take, whatever fits your strengths.
Okay, last question for our listeners who are like, sign me up, it's a competitive field. What can they do to stand out, get that extra edge?
Certifications. That's the ticket. Look into becoming a certified energy manager, a CEM, or a certified renewable energy professional, a REP. Shows you're serious.
That you're not just keeping up, you're ahead of the game.
Exactly.
So as we're wrapping up this deep dive, any final thoughts on what the future holds for all these aspiring offshore renewable energy engineers? What's the big takeaway?
I think if we've learned anything today, it's that this field is, well, it's the future, plain and simple.
The future is now.
As we move towards cleaner energy, the demand for these skilled engineers, it's only going to skyrocket. It's a chance to be part of something huge, something that really matters.
Making a difference, that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
So for everyone listening out there, if you're passionate about sustainability, excited about pushing the boundaries, and ready to, well, ride the wave of the future, this could be the perfect career for you.
Jump in. The water's great.
And on that note, we'll leave you with this. We've talked tech, challenges, rewards, the whole shebang. But as these offshore energy farms pop up all over, it gets us thinking. How do engineers work with the communities where these projects are happening?
Right. Like, it's not just about the technology itself.
It's about balancing the good, the clean energy, with the potential impacts on people's livelihoods, the ecosystems, even tourism. That's the next big challenge.
Finding that harmony, that's the goal.
It's going to take both, the smarts and a big heart, to make sure clean energy and thriving communities, they go hand in hand.
Absolutely. It's all connected.
And that's a wrap on today's deep dive. Thanks for being here with us. And until next time, keep those questions coming.